Hey Yogi, welcome to class. Today is going to be a fun sequence. We're working specifically on standing balancing poses. So as you can imagine, it's a lot in the legs, the core, the glutes, but like all of our classes here on this channel, even though we might specify that it's a certain thing, we still integrate the full body. So you can imagine there might be a couple of chaturanga push-ups that I throw in there as well. All you need today is your mat, your body, and your breath. Let's begin on our back in half shavasana. Soles of the feet hip distance apart. Hands come down to your sides, palms face up to the sky. Close down the eyes. With each exhale, let your body melt into your mat. Give yourself just a few deep breaths here. And allow yourself to shift gears from whatever you were working on before so that you can really arrive here in this space and be fully present during this class. With each inhale and each exhale, allow that rhythm of the breath to continue to pull you into the present moment. And see if you can try to keep that presence, that awareness of your body, that awareness of your breath throughout your entire practice. Maybe take a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Keep in mind it doesn't have to be something physical. Begin to blink open your eyes. Ground the heels into the mat, lift the hips up, bridge pose. Option to tuck the shoulders under. Begin to engage the glutes. And then imagine pulling your heels closer to your head. Maybe you start to feel your hamstrings, your calves start to wake up. Now bring the palms of the hands to face down onto the mat so you have a little more stability here. And then reach your right leg straight up to the sky. Keep the hips lifted. Point the right toes. Really reach with the right foot as high as you can up to the sky. And then start to lower the hips down. Let them hover above the ground. And then press into the left heel. The hips lift back up. Let's do 4 more. Lower down. Lift it up. Lower. And lift. Last one, lower down. Lift the hips up. Keep the hips lifted. Right foot comes back down to the mat. Left foot reaches up to the sky. Pause here. Set it up. Reach with the left foot as high as you can. And then lower the hips down. Let them hover. Let's do 5 on this side as well. Great, set the left foot back down, come back into bridge pose, and pause here, just about 10 seconds. Lift the hips up even higher, maybe you even start to shake a little. You can already feel your glutes firing up. That's great, keep it up. Last 3, 2, and 1. Gently set the hips down. Windshield wiper the knees left and right. And then hold on to the hamstrings, rock forward and back a few times. Massage out the spine. We meet in a tabletop. Cross the ankles, place the hands. We'll begin with a few barrel rolls of the core. So you can come onto the tops of the feet. And then let the belly sink down towards the mat and then bring the rib cage basically over to the right, all the way up to the ceiling and over to the left and back down. So let's do a few more circles, moving in that direction. Switch directions on the circle. And each time you do this barrel roll with the rib cage, see if you can expand it just a little bit more, make that circle a little bigger, wake up your spine, your core. Great, back to neutral tabletop. And then bring the hands to point outward so that the fingertips are facing the outside edge of your mat. Bring the wrists just a couple inches away from each other, and then lean forward, tuck the toes under, and then start to make a circle around the wrists. Either direction is fine. Just waking up the wrists, nice and easy. Switch directions on the circle. Great. Place the hands and we come into plank pose. Step the feet back, the knees lift off, tuck the tailbone under, and really press into the ground. Grip with the fingertips. Take the weight off the outside cartilage of the wrist. And then with the right arm, you're going to lower down into a forearm plank. The right arm is going to lead. And then with the right arm again, right palm is going to come back to the mat. Press it up, high plank. Let's do two more. Right arm is leading. Lower down. Press it up. Lower down. Press it up. Now switch. Left arm leads. Lower down. Press it up. Lower. And press. Try to keep your hips parallel to the ground. Last one. Press it up. Great. Lower back down into a forearm plank. Hold here. Pause. Again, tuck the tailbone under. Start to feel that heat in the core. Begin to engage your Ujjayi breath. That gentle sound of the ocean in the back of your throat. Gently set the hips down, come into Sphinx pose. Stretch out the belly, engage the glutes. And exhale, release, chest comes down to the mat. Place the palms underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, lift the knees and engage the quads, press up to high plank. And downward dog. Lift the hips, pedal out the legs. And find some stillness here in your downward dog for just 2 breaths. Bend your knees, walk the feet to the top of the mat, forward fold.
Interlace the hands behind the head. Keep a nice bend in the knees. And then we're going to start to bounce our chest down towards our quads. The elbows are reaching towards the feet. Bounce, 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 bounce. So let's go for about 20 of these. Again, keep that bend in the knees. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Release the hands back down towards the mat. Again, keep that bend in the knees. Then you're going to lift the balls of your feet up, the toes up to reach towards your elbows. And then set the balls of the feet down and then lift the heels. Set the heels down. Let's move a little faster. Toes lift, heels lift, toes, heels. 3, 2, last one. Great. Soles of the feet come back down to the ground. Keep the bend in the knees and roll all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Your head is the last thing to rise. Arms reach up over your head. Palms touch at the top. And exhale, release hands down to the sides. Tadasana. Palms face forward towards the front of your mat. Engage the quads to lift the knees. Press into all 4 corners of the feet. Cinch in the ribs and draw the shoulder blades down the back. And just pause here for a couple of breaths, maybe even close the eyes. Take a moment to notice how stable and strong you are in such a basic pose. You can still notice lots of little micro movements in the body. Blink open the eyes. Those will come in handy later. Big inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat, low lunge. Gently set down the left knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, the hips come forward and down. Cinch in the ribs and really reach with the fingertips up towards the sky. Release the hands back down towards the mat. Half splits. Start to straighten the right leg. Explore some little movements here. Maybe bring the foot in and out. Maybe sway the hips left and right. Rebend the right knee. Warrior 3 prep. Left foot floats up and back. And that left leg is completely straight. So don't worry so much about how high you can bring it, but just see how much you can straighten it. Really engage the left quad to get that leg straight. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing without touching the left foot on the ground. We meet in tree pose. Left foot inside the right inner thigh. Palms together, hands at the heart. And if you need a little help balancing in tree pose, you can have a little bend in the right knee. Press the hips forward, draw the left knee back. And release the left foot down to the mat, chair pose. Big toes together, knees together, reach the arms up. Sit the hips low. Now option to come onto the balls of the feet, lift the heels up and hold here. We're here for about 10 seconds. So your choice, heels up or down. 3, 2, 1. Set down the heels. If you had them lifted all together, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way to standing, big breath. Arms reach up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the right foot back, low lunge. Left leg is forward. Arms reach up towards the sky. Send the hips forward and down. Half splits. Start to straighten the left leg. Left toes up towards the sky. And again, that invitation to explore. Rebend the left knee. Warrior 3 prep. Keep a little lift in the chest. Inhale, rise up for tree pose. Slow and controlled. And release the right foot down to the ground to meet the left, chair pose once again. This time heel toe your feet hip distance apart. So we're now working on a different area of the quads, different area of the glutes. So before, when your legs are together, you're working more on your adductor muscles, the muscles between your thighs. And now you're working more in the central part of your quad, specifically a muscle called your rectus femoris. So by changing the pose just a little bit, you can target different muscles. Last 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale to lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way to standing. Move with the breath. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands, step the feet back, high plank. Shift forward, come up high on the toes. Bend the arms, chaturanga. We're going to hold here for 5, 4. You can set the knees down if you need to. 2, and 1. Inhale, upward dog. Come onto the tops of the feet. 3 breaths here. Engage the core, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Come up high on the ball of the left foot, shift forward, right knee to nose. Hold it here, press into the hands, and then flex the right foot, step it between the hands silently. Rise up for crescent. keep the arms reaching up over your head. And we're going to transition to warrior 3. So that straight line from the fingertips all the way to the left heel. And then palms together, hands at the heart, standing pigeon. Cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. You come into sort of a half chair pose with the right leg. Keep the left foot flexed, as if you're standing on a wall next to you. So instead of pointing the foot, I'd like you to flex it. Now with the left peace fingers of your left hand, you're going to hook onto the big toe of the left foot, right hand to the right hip, and press up to standing. Start to extend your left leg forward to any degree. So if you can't straighten it all the way, it's also all right. You're working on your balancing here. Release the foot, bend both knees. We're coming into a seated twist. See if you can get there without using your hands. Super slow. Keep the knees safe. Great. The hip comes down to the ground. Reach your right hand behind you. With the left hand, you could either just hold on to the knee, come into that twist over to the right. You could also hook with the tricep or the forearm, whatever is accessible for you. Release the twist. We're going to make our way into half moon. So again, maybe without using the hands, come up to standing, moving nice and slow. That right foot stays planted, the left leg comes behind you, half moon. I'll start to bend both knees, cactus the arms, Shiva squat. Left knee comes outside the right calf. Bring it right back up, half moon. Let's do 2 more. Move nice and slow. We're working on our balancing, feeling all those micro muscles in the legs, the core, the back, the glutes, all of it. We meet in half moon. Start to bend the right knee, warrior 2. Left foot touches down gently at the back of the mat. Tuck the tailbone under. The right knee is above the right ankle, and the arms are straight. Send all the energy out the fingertips. And bring back Ujjayi breath. If you've lost it, especially if you're breathing through the mouth, try to seal the lips. Slow down the breath. Now begin to straighten the right leg. Pull the hips back. Send the shoulders forward, straight out in front of you for triangle pose. Right hand comes down towards the ground. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Keep a little bend in the right knee. Now you can feel that relief in the right quad. And release both hands down towards the ground. Rebend the right knee. Spider lunge to the left. Left leg is bent. Right leg is straight. Move forward towards the front of the mat. Runner's lunge. And then heel toe your right foot out to the right side. Lizard lunge. Set down the left knee. Reach back with your right hand. An option to bend the left leg. Grab onto the left foot. Gently start to pull your heel towards the glutes. And then another option is to send the right leg out to the right and come onto the knife edge of the right foot. Release the left foot softly. Toes come back down to the ground. Lift the left knee up. Now with the peace fingers of the right hand, you're going to hook the big toe on the right foot and make your way into side plank on the left. So come onto the knife edge of the left foot and reach the right leg straight up to the sky. Hold here, just 2 breaths. Push into the ground. Lift the right leg up. Release the big toe, wild thing. Right foot comes behind you and lift the hips. Now the gaze comes back down towards your left foot. You can keep your right arm reaching up towards the ceiling. And then come all the way down onto the sole of the right foot. Keep the left leg straight. And then you're going to lift your left leg up and tap the right hand to the inner left knee. Set it back down. Reach it up. Tap. Tap. Let's do 3 more. So again, we're working on our adductor muscles, that inner thigh. Last one. Great job. Right hand comes down to the mat, one-legged plank. Right leg stays floating. Shift forward high on the toes. Bend the arms, chaturanga. Again, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it up, upward dog. Big breath. Downward dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Right heel lifts off, exhale, left knee to nose. Pause here for 1 breath. Flex the foot, quietly make your way into crescent. Keep the arms reaching up over your head and make your way to warrior 3. Palms together at the heart for standing pigeon. Right ankle on top of left thigh. Take your time to cozy into this chair. So comfortable, right? All right, maybe not for all of us. As long as you don't feel any sensations of pain, then it's all good. Make the pose work for you. With the peace fingers of the right hand, hook the right big toe. Left hand comes to the left hip. And rise all the way up to standing. Extend the right leg out to any degree. Stand nice and tall. And release the foot. Make our way into that seated twist. Have a little relief for the legs. Left hand comes behind you, and the right arm does whatever it can to help assist in the twist. Gently, softly. And if your left hip lifts up a little bit here, that's fine. You can allow it to lift. It's actually better for your SI joint in your pelvis to allow the hip to lift than it is to force both sit bones down to the ground. Release the twist. We meet in half moon. Left foot stays planted,
and the right leg floats back. Three of those Shiva squats, optional of course. Cactus the arms, right knee outside the left calf, bring it back, half moon. Let's do two more. Back up to half moon. Slowly bend the left knee, make your way to warrior two. I know that left quad is probably screaming at you, asking for a break, but you're not going to give it yet. No, you're strong. You can do it. Sit the hips a little lower. Tuck the tailbone under. Focus on your current breath. Straighten the left leg. Make your way into triangle. Wherever the left hand lands is fine. There's no need to push it down to the ground or force it anywhere. You're mostly looking for a stretch in the left hamstring as well as your low back on the right side. Gaze comes back down towards the ground. Release the hands, bend the left knee, and make your way into Skandasana on the right. Spider lunge. Move towards the front of the mat. Runner's lunge first. Set up that right leg, and then heel toe the left foot off to the left. Lizard lunge. Set the right knee down, right palm down, reach back with the left hand. An option to bend the right leg, grab onto the foot, pull it towards the glute, and maybe the left leg opens up. Quietly release your right foot. Right toes come back down to the ground. Lift the right knee up. Now with the peace fingers of the left hand, grab onto that left big toe and very slowly make your way into side plank on the right. Release the big toe. Wild thing. Left foot comes behind you. Engage the glutes. And gaze comes back down towards the right foot. Left sole of the foot comes all the way down to the ground. Left arm reaches up to the sky. And then we'll do several of those adductor lifts once again. So keep the right leg straight. Lift it up. Tap left hand to the inner right knee. Set it back down. Tap. Tap. Let's do 3, 2. Last one. Great job. Left palm back down to the mat. One-legged plank. Keep the left leg lifted. You can do it. Last push of class. Shift forward, high on the toes. Bend the arms, chaturanga. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it up, upward dog. One more breath here. Engage the glutes. Downward dog. Walk the feet forward, outside the hands. Come into yogi squat, malasana. The elbows are inside the knees. The spine is reaching up towards the sky. Maybe take a wrist release here. Roll out the wrists. And gently sit down. Bring the legs in front of you for butterfly pose. So the feet are a little bit close to the hips. You could either just hold on to the feet, or you could also reach your arms underneath and then hold on to the feet. With every exhale, try to slow down your breath. Remove any resistance that you feel in your body. If you're holding on to something or pressing or forcing anything, now's the time to relax. We'll be here for about a minute. So during this time, I would like you to give a little bit of extra gratitude to your beautiful feet that are here in front of you. And there's thousands of nerve endings, so much going on in the feet. The feet are our connection to all of everything around us, all of our surroundings, Mother Earth. And it's our first line of defense. It's our first thing that registers anything that comes into the body. And sometimes we kind of take our feet for granted. So I highly recommend that you get regular foot massages, reflexology massages. And if your feet are sore a lot or they're in pain all the time, then I recommend looking into minimalist shoes or barefoot shoes. There's many, many of them on the market, and they allow your feet to move a little more naturally. And last thing you can look into is a form of muscle therapy or fascial therapy, which is called Anatomy Trains Structural Integration. And those therapists know so much about how to release adhesions in your fascia, and oftentimes it's locked up pretty tight in the feet. So I'll link a few of those things below in the description. So if you do have foot pain, then there is relief on the way. And if you don't have foot pain, then you are one lucky human, because a lot of people do. So just be grateful for where you're at, for what you have. Love your feet just a little bit more. Release this butterfly. Hold on to the outsides of the knees and help the knees back up. And make your way. Actually, let's do a shoulder stretch first. Bring your hands behind you. And lift the hips up. Reverse tabletop. Especially since we did so many chaturangas today. But hey, we didn't do any chaturanga push-ups. We just did a couple holds here and there.
You did great. Gently set down the hips. Make your way onto your back for shavasana. A very well-deserved shavasana. Extend the legs out. And if we're coming to the end of this class and you're saying, no, I was just getting into it. I was finally starting to connect with it or moving towards these solid standing poses and I wasn't ready for class to be done, then you are in luck because I have already filmed probably 75-minute to 90-minute standing balances class, and it is exclusively on our Patreon community. So if you're interested in checking out some of our longer classes where we go into even more detail, we even introduce a little bit of Qigong into this standing balance class and also some physiotherapy exercises. So it's much more in-depth and complex of a sequence. So I encourage you to click below in the description, head to our Patreon and scope it out. For just $5 a month, you can have access to a lot longer classes. So settle here into this shavasana. Continue to deepen your breath. Close the eyes. Allow your body to soften and melt. And remember that we never want to look back on our practice with judgment. So if you noticed that you were maybe falling all over today and you just couldn't find the balance, or some transitions or poses just weren't accessible to you, then just know that that's also perfectly fine. The fact that you rolled out your mat and you had an opportunity and a privilege to take the time to move in your body, to connect with your breath. It's such a beautiful thing. So if your mind naturally goes towards the judgments of your practice, then take a deep breath and instead just tell yourself that I'm proud of you. You can repeat that mantra in your head. I am proud of myself. I am proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Take as much time as you need here in shavasana. And I'll be ending the video here. Enjoy the rest of your day ahead, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in class tomorrow. Lots of love and gratitude from my heart to yours. Namaste.